Alright, I'm gonna try to take the tooth out of his hand.
Okay, so you grab the tooth, and it is warm to the touch. All right. Now, as you grab the tooth and you have it in your hand now, the lightning that was pulsating around the older man on the floor, it now jumps, and I mean it kind of like ricochets around the room a couple times, and you know where it goes now? It goes right to right to Schuler, the food critic. So now Schuler is now encased in this lightning as he's, as he was eating the venison. All of a sudden now he spits out the venison. He falls out of the table. He, falls off of the bench, convulsing on the floor, and it's now writhing around him. Now, Omi, this is all happening at the same time. So what are you doing?
Okay, Omi looks at this and doesn't know what to make of it since our plans just kind of turned around on us.
Yeah.
And is the half-orc still at our table?
The half-orc is, in the table. In the Delmonica room, yes, he's in there.
Okay. So
he's
Omi would...
Half-baked, though. Yeah, but he's back there.
Omi would go over here, like start slapping the shit out of him, pour an ale over his head, and say, "Wake up, wake up!"
To the old man?
Happening. No, to the half-orc.
Okay.
It's wake up, wake up. I'm just slapping him repeatedly, pouring an ale over his head, whatever
Sure.
it takes to
He's
try
coming
to
to. What the hell is going on? What is going on?
What if the magic item got released? We don't know what it is, but lightning is attacking us.
Lightning! What in the hell? And he stands up. Lightning! And he draws his sword. Now, as this is going on, screams are happening inside of Madame Friona's tea kettle. All of the patrons at the bar, all of the patrons are now starting to scatter. They're going out the door to the north. They're starting to bolt for the door to the south. You've got Madame Friona. She's comes out of the kitchen. She's yelling, "What in the hell's going on here? There's going to be no bar fights inside of my illustrious tavern, the best tavern of Phlan and yada yada yada." She's just being a halfling right now, and her daughters are basically just running in circles and where they're standing. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! And now everybody's darting for doors and lightning's jumping all over the place, and it's just utter chaos, and you're slapping the shit out of Burrell, and he comes too. He stands up, lightning, and he draws a sword. In the name of the Emerald Enclave! Yeah. And then all of a sudden, all of Madame Friona's daughters, they pull the skin mask off, and they're a ninja mask underneath. No, I'm just kidding. That would have been awesome. Okay, so you
That's my turn. I'm
you take care
time rousing him.
Yeah, you take care of Burrell. So Varys, you're up, and you see this dwarf heading for the door. You also notice the dragonborn going for the door. You notice the halflings. They're banging their powder all over the tables, causing sparks, and everybody's heading for the door except for Schuler and the old man and the Yenta. She's kind of just standing there like, "Oh my God, what's going on, darling?"
Well, seeing how the dwarf was sitting next to the person who had the thingamajig, and I was told to stop her, I yell for her to stop, step out to block her path, and if she doesn't stop, I'll attack her.
Yeah, she doesn't stop. So yeah, she doesn't stop. So you can, you can grapple her if you want to. You can attack her. You can do anything you want. So if you want to attack her, go for it.
Okay, I attack her with my short sword.
Okay.
Casting green flame as I strike.
Okay, and that's green flame's a reaction, isn't?
Basically, the way green flame works is the component is an attack with a melee weapon.
That's right. This is out of the Sword Coast Companion Guide. I'm going to read this again. I haven't read it in a long time. I did like this. So I should just
basically, what happens is if I attack with a melee weapon and it actually lands a hit, then
the green flame leaps
to her, and at my level it only does whatever my spellcasting modifier is.
Very nice.
So I'll roll.
Yep. One action. Very nice. I like it. So it does an extra, let's see, on a hit the target suffers the attack's normal effects, and green flame leaps from the blade to target to another creature of your choice that can see within 5 feet. The second creature takes fire damage equal to the spellcasting ability modifier. Okay, so, oh nice, a nice crit. Holy crap.
Nice.
Very nice, man. Your first roll, man. You get a good jingle. Alright, so you hit the target, you hit the dwarf, green flame shatters from your weapon, and where do you want this green flame to leap to? I guess it would be the man on the floor, because it's the green flame will leap to a target, different creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of it.
How do I roll damage?
You just roll your damage. Now on your attack roll where you have your short sword, see where it says 1d6 plus 3 piercing? You just go ahead and do that.
For a die next to it.
No problem. Okay, there it is. So she will take 6 damage, and when you're doing the damage and stuff, Varus, next time when you pick up, you can drag and drop that attack on the token, and it'll calculate it. Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. Or if you want to, here's another thing you can do. When it's your turn, you can hold down Control and click on the token you're targeting. And when you do that, you'll notice in the combat tracker, you'll notice that you are targeting whoever you want to attack. So, and then that's when you can just click right off of the sheet and it'll work. So you got to open up your combat tracker, which you'll have to do that in the top right hand corner where the swords are crossed. And then you'll notice that the dragon is on your turn, and you should be highlighted with a green box. Now hold down Control and click on the dwarf token. Okay, see how it says targets a dwarf? So there you go. Now you got her targeted for next round. But the 25, it's a crit, it's a hit. You did a total of 6 damage. Now I want you to roll another d6 to go ahead and get the crit damage. So because you get 2 weapon damage for the crit. Just a d6. Yep. We're going to add it onto the 6 that you've already done.
Okay, so I wouldn't use the damage thing again. I just use a regular d6.
Yep,
okay.
Just pick up that d6 on the bottom. That way, next time, Fantasy Grounds, when you roll that crit, it will recognize it's a crit, and then it'll recognize the extra dice. So that way, it'll just automatically add the 10 points of damage to the target that you attacked. So you've done 10 damage. I'm going to add the 10 wounds to the dwarf. Very nice crit. Is there anything else you want to do? Are you a 2-weapon fighter? Or
I still have the green flame damage.
Okay, yeah, you get to do your modifier worth of damage now. And do you want to do that to the human that's on the ground?
To the human, yeah.
Okay, so he's unconscious, so he's not going to take the damage, he's going to take a strike. So that's how it works when you take damage as you're unconscious. So, alright, green flame jumps from your blade onto the target down below you, and anything else for you? An offhand, because you're using a short sword. You can do your unarmed attack if you want to, because you can 2-weapon fight.
Anybody else to hit?
Yeah, the dwarf is still up. You clocked her good, but yeah, she's still up. So let's.
An offhand hit.
Okay, let me make an unarmed attack really quick for you. I'm gonna create a weapon for you. I don't want you to shortchange yourself on your attacks.
Right.
So I'm gonna make this called offhands. All right, and it's gonna be unarmed. And you're gonna get You'll get your proficiency and all that stuff. So let me open this up. Your base is going to be Dex. Alright, so there's your +5. Your unarmed is going to be, I think it's D. Is it your unarmed damage for a monk? D4 or D6 at 1?
4.
Okay, so I'll put a D4 in there. And you do not get modifier bonus damage on your second hit. So that's like sort of like the penalty. And it would be bludgeoning. Alright, there you go. I think we're ready to go now. So now you can click that, and now seeing that you have that targeted, you can do several things, Varus. You can, like I said, when it's your turn, you can control, click on the target. That way you can target it. Or if you want to,
right?
yeah, you just did it again to unclick it. So you'll have to do it again to target him again.
Oh, okay.
No problem. Okay, so you got the dwarf targeted. Now, on your offhand, you can do two things. You can do a couple things. The first thing, you can just click it like you did. Or if you want to, you can pick up the dice, just hold down left click, and you can just drop the die right on the dwarf on the map. So it'll do it. You can roll two ways. You can just click it like you did, or you can drag and drop. Okay, so there you go. You did an attack at the dwarf, and you missed it. It was a 12 versus AC. You missed. So there you go. Now you know how to do it. So next time on your turn, we'll refresh you. So, but good job. All right, so the dwarf is still up. You definitely hit her really hard with the first hit with your sword. So you've definitely wounded her pretty good. So now the dwarf,
Okay,
she's
so
gonna.
what happens to the human?
The human, he takes a strike. So he's unconscious. So in 5e, when you're unconscious, you're at 0 hit points. And it hasn't came to his turn yet, so he hasn't had a death saving throw, which is the 1d20.
Oh,
you know.
yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so he's going to take a strike for the green flame hitting him. So if I roll a 1 on him, he's going to die.
The 3 was his net, not hit points.
Yeah, the modifier, anytime when you're unconscious, no matter if you take 10 damage or whatever, it just counts as a strike. Because there's no negative hit points in D&D 5e, like there is in other editions previously. So he would just take a strike for taking the damage. So, and once you got 3 strikes, you're dead. So he's got 1 strike now. All right. So that's the green flame blade damage. The dwarf now is trying to go to the door. So the dwarf is going to move. She gets quite a bit of movement. So she's going to move around you, and as she leaves the reach of you, you're going to get an attack of opportunity because she's leaving your reach.
Would Morvain also get one as she left his area?
Morvain would, yes, because I would imagine you would be in that square. So Morvain, you can take the attack of opportunity first. And there are also, if you hit someone, you can also say you're holding the killing blow. So basically, instead of killing the creature outright, you can just render it unconscious.
What Morvain does is he, as he's gathering himself on the floor, he has his quarterstaff in hand.
Sure.
And what he'd like to do is he yells out to Varus and he says, "We're not going to try and kill her," and then he tries to basically take her feet out from underneath her with his quarterstaff to knock her prone.
Sounds good. Go ahead and do an attack. All right, so your attack missed.
Ah!
Yep, and now she's out of your reach. Now, for you, Varus, she's now leaving your reach, so now you can take an attack of opportunity. That's just a basic attack, and you would take that with your short sword. So you can go ahead, seeing that you've already got her targeted, you can click on the attack, or if you'd like to, you can just pick up the attack off of your character sheet and drag it on the dwarf token on the map. So you have a couple different ways you can attack. But it would be just your basic short sword attack. There you go. You got it.
Okay, I'm just gonna attack her and try to knock her out.
Sounds good to me. Always, I have a lot of players from time to time. They always forget to hold the killing blow. and then they'll miss like valuable information. You know, so nice hit. Wow, nice hit, clutch. So the attack is a 21 versus armor class on the dwarf. You hit, and now you can roll your damage. And I know that you're holding the killing blow, so you would just render her unconscious if you did enough damage. Alright, so you render her unconscious as she goes down. Alright? She basically just slides, and you hold your killing blow up, and you basically just knock her in the back of the head as she runs by you. You know, she's like, "Ha ha! I'm out of here, suckers!" And then bam, you hit her in the back of the head, and she goes sliding 5 feet on the floor. She's out of it. Alright? So, Varys, that's it for you. The dwarf's turn is done. The human, I'm going to do a roll. Alright, so the human failed again. So now the human has 2 strikes on him. And you can tell now, the human, he is starting to like gurgle blood and whatnot. He seems like he's in really bad shape, and he needs to be stabilized, because now he's starting to like convulse and stuff like that. All right, so now Morvain, you're up, as you see the the old guy starting to, he's in bad shape.
Yeah, Morvain will move over towards him and try to stabilize him.
Okay, now give me a medicine check. Now, if you have a healing kit, you can do that with no roll. But give me a wisdom check. I believe it's associated with wisdom. And
yeah,
if you
there's
have
a medicine check.
Medicine, yeah, wisdom is based off of medicine is based off of wisdom. So you can just do a wisdom check, and it's a DC of 10. So you made it. So it's almost out of your realm of medical knowledge, but you do pull yourself together, and you're able to get this guy stabilized. So now he's at just 0 hit points, unconscious. He doesn't need to do any more saving throws. Alright, so that's your turn, Morvain. Now Xiphus. Now Xiphus, is, as you see all of this going down, the lightning now jumps from the table where Schuler was, and now the lightning jumps to your girl, Surak. And now the elf is now convulsing in this lightning. She goes down, and
so
then
the lightning's.
Yes.
So the lightning's not jumping to the closest person.
No, it's jumping to. Just seems like from what you can tell, maybe it might be random. It may have something to do with something else, but everything is happening so quick. So you would have to kind of analyze the situation to see what is going on.
So the lightning's imitating from the bag, right? Not from the tooth that I picked up?
Both. It came from the bag and the tooth, and then it went to the old guy. It left the old guy, went to Schuler, the next table over.
Okay, I'm going to try to pocket this tooth to see if concealing it turns it off. Does pocketing the tooth like turn off the electrical mayhem?
It does not, because the lightning, it still arcs to the elf that you were talking with. But no, it does not subdue it.
But you said it come from the bag, right?
Kind of both. You heard the glass shatter, and it's like it came out of the bag, focused on the dagger, jumped from the dagger, and it went on to the human. Then it, encased him for a couple of seconds, rendered him unconscious, jumped to Schuler, cycled around him, rendered him unconscious, and now within like 12 seconds, it's on its third target, and now it's on Surak.
All right, I'm trying to. I want to shut this off as soon as possible. I want to open that bag and see what's inside.
Okay. So, and another thing starts to go on too, because as you just stabilize this guy, Morvain, all of a sudden his eyes open up, and they're sort of like glassed over, and it seems like this guy is starting to stand up. The human. Doesn't seem like he's violent in any manner. Doesn't seem like he's trying to lash out and attack you. But it just seems like this guy is starting to stand up.
Or I scream at him, how do we shut this off? As I'm opening the bag to see what's inside.
Alright. So Xiphus, you're trying to figure out how to get this thing stopped. So why don't you do me, Xiphus. Do an arcane check for me. And we'll see what happens, because you're trying to figure out how to get this thing stopped. Wow, that is such a clutch roll. So you're starting to sense a theme here. It seems like it's starting to jump to people that are associated with, you would think, that has something to do with like the Force, like Fae, because it's starting to jump from the human, which was the carrier of this thing, left him, and then it went over to Schuler, and Schuler, he's a half-elf, so then it jumped from that half-elf to your girl, Surak, which is a pure-blood elf, and now she's encased with this. So it looks like it's Blue Dragon, creature of the Force, lightning, Fae. So you're thinking you need to get this dagger, and you need to capture this, because you know that the dagger, that tooth has something to do with this lightning. Now you're going to have some kind of conductor to get this back into the dagger. You just need to figure it out. But it is definitely Fae themed. Now, as you realize this, the lightning that was encasing Surak leaves Surak, and it bounces around the tavern a couple more times, and you can just hear the gunshots, pew, pew, as everybody's ducking as this thing is like rattling all over the walls and stuff. And this thing crashes through the window, breaks the window, and you can hear a scream outside of the tea kettle now. You can hear a, "Ah! My baby girl!"
Oh, God.
Yeah. Alright, so Xiphus, is still your turn? So I would guess you would run outside or what? Because this guy beside you is also standing up. And you notice that Schuler, he's now got his eyes opened up, and he's starting to stand up. But they don't look like they're... It doesn't look like they're like a zombie or anything like that. That is, entranced and eating brains or anything like that. Although their eyes are glassed over that you can see, it just seems like they're standing up, and it looks like they're starting to turn towards the current, or that electricity as it shot out the window. So Xiphus, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I want to open that bag and see what's inside, and maybe put the dagger with whatever items in there to see if it'll shut it off.
Okay. You look inside of the bag, and inside of the bag is a broken blue orb. Glass shards everywhere. So whatever it was, it is definitely broken.
I just curse in confusion. Putting the dagger with the shards or anything, it doesn't do anything. It continues.
Yeah, it does. And Burl says, that's we have to contain the lightning. Come, my friends. And the half orc Burrell, he starts to head for the door as well. He says, we must contain the lightning, or it will just continue to destroy everything that's an elf.
How do we contain it?
We have to jump on it, do something.
Everything that's enough. I said, Morvain, take the bag.
Alright, I got the bag.
And I'll throw in the dagger as well.
Okay. So you take and you head out I guess you're heading out the door as well, right? Picking up the
Yes.
bag, you head out the door. Okay. Next, Omi, what are you doing?
I'm not, Morvain has the bag right now, and I see him heading towards the door, so I'm going to follow him, and then I'm going to cast a long strider spell on him while he's heading out to make him faster.
Okay. Yeah, because you just saw Xiphus just burst through the door. Basically, Xiphus just kicks the door in pretty much. Think we should... Do you kick the door in, or do you want to just open it up and run out valiantly? Gracefully.
Oh, I'm feeling pretty.
Are you
antsy.
feeling
I
frisky?
kick it. Yeah,
give me
I
a
kick
strength
it.
check. Yeah, give me a strength check in athletics if you have athletics. That's why I was giving you the option of kicking it or opening it. That's what I was looking for. DC 10. Wow, you level 1s are so lucky. You kick the door. I mean, you make it so dramatic that the door just bursts off of its hinges. And in the background, you can hear Madame Friona saying, "Xiphus, you're going to pay for that door!" as she takes a big long drag from her pipe. As she's just taking it in, saying, "My bar's being destroyed." So,
There must be something really good in that pipe if she's still smoking at this point.
right? Well, she's trying to take the pain away, I think. So, Omi, you head out the door. Varys, what say you? Because now, Varys, by this point, the elf, female Surrak, she now opens her eyes, and she starts to stand up. And all three of the victims of the lightning, they all turn towards the door, and it looks like they're all walking very slow towards the door. And I'm not talking at a normal pace slow. I'm talking at a very slow, like, half movement. I mean, they're just like, it's like they're entranced. Yeah, it's like they're entranced. But they're not they're not being harmful towards anyone. They're not attacking you or anything. It looks like they're just kind of eyes glazed over and they're walking towards the door. Trying to follow the lightning, basically. Okay, so, what do you want to do, Varys? Varys, sorry.
I wanna head towards where? Okay, when you say they went out the door, do you
Yep.
mean over here?
The top. Correct. Yep, you're right.
All right, the door's already open. We can get out.
Yeah, oh yeah. You saw Xiphus just kick the door right off of the hinges. Oh yeah.
I use my entire action plus bonus action to dash
I got it. Good job.
to get
Your
out.
speed is 40, so a dash would give you 80 now.
Yeah, nice.
I'll
So,
get 60.
because
Oh,
I think he put Longstrider on you as well, I think.
Yeah, long strider gives you 10 extra feet of movement.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So
I thought
Varys
that was
is
on
grease
Morvain, I
lightning.
think.
Oh, was it on Morvain?
Oh, well, whoever had the bag.
I'll go the entire.
Tooth.
I've got the bag.
I'll go the entire dash to get out to follow it wherever it went.
Okay, so you're going to be moving at 60. Morvain had the bag, so therefore the Longstrider spell went on Morvain. Sorry about that, Varys.
Oh,
But
that's
60
alright.
feet, dude, you're still the quickest anyway, minus the Longstrider. So this
Well,
is...
I go in monk levels, I'll be quicker.
Oh my gosh, dude, you'll be traveling like 60 foot around normal. That's without dash or anything. So as you get out the door, Varys, and this goes for Xiphus as well, you can now see that there is a little girl that is one of the, basically where the inn is located. There is sort of like a marketplace. It's sort of like on the outskirts of the marketplace. And there are these vendors around Phlan. And this is one of the flower girls, and she is an elf that was just encased with this lightning. And her mother is screaming, "My daughter," and she is an elf as well. And as you get out the door, you see this happen for a couple of seconds, and you see that the mother, which is all doused in flowers as well, she's just covered with flowers, and she was pushing their cart, which has nothing but flowers on it also. Now the lightning arcs from the little girl to her mother, and now the mother starts to, she's getting electrocuted. So that's what you guys see. Now, let's see. Let's go down to the dwarf and the human. They move
Okay.
very slowly.
Quick question. The
Sure.
first guy that got zapped was a human.
Correct. Mhm. Yep. It was. But he was carrying the item. So
Okay.
he had the blue dragon tooth, because like I was saying, when you saw all of this go down, you heard that glass break and you saw the lightning jump from the bag to the dagger, and then from the dagger to him. I guess he was just unlucky for holding the dagger. So all of you guys came to that conclusion. The dagger definitely has something to do with this. And then elves and fae, that's like the other key. Because
Hey,
it
wait a
seems
minute.
like...
I'm an elf.
Yeah. Yep.
So am I.
I run the other direction.
I love it. I whole ass.
Need to figure out why. There's got to be something, a reason why it's jumping to these people.
I think we need to destroy the dragon tooth dagger.
If that's possible, that would be good, but I don't
I'm
know.
thinking maybe you gotta. Well, from what he already gave us the answer from what he described to whoever did the Arcana check, that we have to get it back into the dagger, and you gotta have some kind of conductor.
Yeah, that's what the arcane check revealed, yeah. Now what is this conductor? You'll have to find out. Because you've seen it, it's targeting creatures of the Fae, basically the elves. So
I'm thinking. I think I
Connecting
know
the
the
broken
answer.
connecting the broken item to the dagger didn't do anything though, so it's not like a touching.
I think we gotta. I'm gonna go for. Well, it's not my turn yet.
all right, so the dwarf and the human and also Surak, they all make their way towards the door, and it's all non-violent. They all just basically move. Okay. And by this time, all of the patrons, they are now starting to leave through the southern exit down to the south, and they're evacuating stage left.
So even though it's going after elves, even the human who was affected by it is still under the spell.
He is tranced by the... Yes, he is tranced.
Okay, so basically the trance affects anybody who was holding it at first then. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
Yes. Yep.
Sorry, Morvain.
Morvain, you're up now.
Oh, why are you apologizing to me?
Because I threw you that dagger.
That's all right. Okay, so I'm taking the dagger, and with Longstrider cast on me, Dave, what I want to know is because I make it out the north door and make it to the elf woman by the flower cart.
Yep, they're about 15 foot from the door. Yeah, you have plenty of run speed.
All right. Do I have time when I get there to remove the dagger from the bag and just touch the dagger to the elf woman?
You do. Just as you get to this, it seems like the lightning jumps, and the lightning jumps and bounces off of the cart. It bounces off of another cart, but then it comes back towards you, and it hits the dagger. And as it hits the dagger, you feel this massive, heat surge. It doesn't burn you or anything like that, but it's enough for you to drop the dagger outright. And it seems like it stops.
Okay, and
And the
all
lightning
while after
disappears.
when the dagger hits the ground, Zyphus, all you see me standing there doing is with my eyes shut, teeth clenched, just going, please don't burn me, please don't burn me.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. But the lightning just stops all of a sudden.
The lightning just stops, yeah. It's like when the dagger got super close to it, it's like it just attracted it back in.
Okay, well that was a lovely evening. Good Evenfeast.
I go over to Morvan and make sure he's okay.
That was easier than I thought it was going to be.
I'm checking all my parts, making sure everything's still in working order.
And the dwarf, the elf, and the human, they all start to come to as well. Now, to wrap this up a little bit, because I know you've got to go ahead and go, Omi. So, Omi, you're going to get 100. Go ahead.
Oh, I had an idea. Why don't you guys try grabbing one of the items that one of these people have on them and holding that at the same time that you hold the tooth? Maybe it has to do with something that they had on them.
Well, they've already got it contained.
Oh, that
I
it
think
is
it's good.
contained?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's in the
yep,
dagger.
it is.
Okay.
Yep.
It was belt hopping.
Okay.
Yep.
I
So if
thought
you want to go ahead and
the
go,
elf would have to hold the dagger and get shocked to contain it.
Okay. Yep, so
Yeah.
it looks like we're good then.
yep. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and go, you can take off. I'll add the experience and the money to your sheet. And also, you're going to get 5 days of downtime too, so I'll take care of that, and I'll make a entry for you so you can take off and not be late for work. So,
Okay, thank you,
okay,
Dave.
man. No problem.
Good
game,
game,
thank you.
guys.
Take it easy, Omi.
All right. And then I'll
See you
kind
later.
of I'll recap you on what happened afterwards too. So, all right. So now you have this contained, Morvain. The dagger gets hot. You drop it, and it seems like it's over. Now, as this happens, there's people screaming out on the streets as well. And inside, like I was saying, Surat comes to, the old guy. He introduces himself as Tret. And Tret is just passing through. He was on one of the traveling caravans, because I'm sure you guys would have interrogated them. Now the dwarf, Yana, this is a scoop on what was going to happen. Tret found the dagger. All right, exploring. He found the dagger. And he knew that it contained a heat source. And seeing that Yana's is a crafter, is a smithy, and she wants to create, very powerful weapons and armor. So he was going to sell her the tooth to put into the forge to help create these illustrious magic items. Well, thankfully, that never happened, because this orb and the tooth were connected together, and if she would have put it into the forge, bad things would have happened. It would have probably taken Phlan and taken it right off of the map. So they did not know. You interrogate them enough to where they both didn't know that the dragon tooth was harmful. The Emerald Enclave found out through another person on the caravan that was part of the Emerald Enclave, saw this guy looking at a dragon tooth. So anytime there's any kind of dragon tooth that's out in the open, automatically any of the organizations would have thought that it would have been probably used for some bad purpose. But it wasn't in this case. It was just to try to, the peddler on the caravan wanted to make some money. The dwarf, the buyer, Yana, she wanted to basically have this powerful, energy in her forge so she could create a higher quality item.